Welcome to Unbiased and on the Fence. See if I can remember how to turn my camera on there. What's up, Eileen?
Hey, not much. How about you, Shane?
Oh man, I am just enjoying the 60-degree weather. I just noticed, I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been looking at single digits, teens, 20s. Yesterday, I think it got up into the 40s. So yeah, I'm glad to finally be back in the 60s.
Do you still have snow? Do you have like melting snow all over the
Yeah.
place, getting really slushy?
Well, the streets are pretty good. Yesterday was kind of the slushy day, and there's like, where water runs out onto the roadway from the big mounds of, snow where they kind of piled it up. So there's still some of those piles remaining that got really
Yeah,
big when
they'll
they
be there
plowed it.
for a while, won't they?
Yeah.
But I don't think this is the end of it. It's 2/22/2021. So I think you got more snow coming for
You gotta
sure.
love that. I just looked down and it's 111. It's 1:11 p.m. for me. It's 2:11 for you, and
Yep.
it's 2:22. So that's interesting.
Awesome. We got some good numbers.
This is going to be a
Did
good
you
day.
did you see that? I think I sent it to you. I forgot what it's called though. It has a really funny name. Did you see that day that the image of the date, if you were in Europe or the rest of the world
Right.
does their date the same way. It's only the United States that doesn't. So it was, what was it, where it was a mirror image left and right. And if you flipped it upside down, it was the same date.
I think it was the 12th, right? So it was one
So
two o
one,
two
two,
2021. It was a
oh, wait, wait,
mirror.
wait. Yes, that was it. It was the 12th.
Yeah. So one
Yeah.
two o two 2021. So yeah, it's a mirror. I love
But
that.
we're going to have that. We're going to get that mirror in the United States only on December 2nd,
Ah, okay.
right? Will we get it? Let's see. Let's figure out that out. That would be 112,
Yeah.
1202
2021.
2012. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. So we'll get it
It'll be
then.
on December 2nd.
Yeah, that's right.
It has a name. It's not a palindrome,
Oh
but it's
yeah, yeah.
something like that. It's something so rare because it not only mirrors each other left and right if you flip it, like put a line through the middle and pretend one half is water or a mirror,
Right.
it will mirror each other. But if you turn it upside down, the date is perfectly okay.
Wow.
Right side and up and upside down and right side up. I
That's
tried
amazing.
it. I did my phone. I just, took off
That's
the flip
crazy.
so I could flip it upside down without the screen flipping.
Right.
And it read the date perfectly upside down.
Wow. That's interesting. So there's probably something with the well, I don't know, the fives. I was thinking probably do that with. I guess we'll see in May, right?
I guess we'll see in May. But there's still this weird thing astrologically going on that we're all aware of here on this channel, at least. The astrology channels on YouTube have been saying, "Oh, this is such a cool time, February." I think we're coming out of it now because like 7 planets are in Aquarius, and the Aquarian age is freedom, love, peace, blah 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 blah. And then you go on Stellarium, which I learned from Levette channel,
Mm-hmm.
and you look up where the planets are at that moment of the day. Half of them were in Capricorn. So remember how birthdays are off too because they're
Yeah.
using a system of where the planets were 1700 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that with everything. It's almost like, here's my conspiracy ears twitching, right?
Right.
It's
Right.
almost like they don't want us to know what they know. They know the real astrology, where the planets really are, but everybody's doing this thing called tropical astrology.
And it shifts everything a little bit.
It shifts everything off, except I did the chart of tropical astrology where you're told your your sun sign is versus where the sun was really placed at the moment of your birth with one friend, and she and her husband and her kids all kept their sun signs.
Wow.
That's the first time I've ever seen that because most people get shifted. Like, I've been told I was a Gemini my whole life, and I do believe I have Gemini traits, especially when it comes to talking, media, a life in media, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Two personalities, happy, and then the hermit who wants to lock off the world and go run away with a book and nobody call me, for a year.
Right.
So, um, when I looked up my sign, the sun at the moment of my birth in 1961 was clearly in the horns of Taurus, right on his head.
Right.
And you can't miss that. That's a Taurian sun sign.
Right.
So truthfully, I'm a Taurus, which also makes sense. Stubborn, like a bull, bullheaded,
Mm-hmm.
earth loving. It's an earth sign.
So I wonder if, because it's interesting you just brought that up, because one of my kids just like, I don't know, yesterday or the day before was reading something. They were like, listen to this. And they start reading off all this stuff, and like, doesn't that sound just like you? And I'm like, that's interesting. Is it Aries or Pisces? And they said it was Aries. So I thought, they were going off of the typical astrology, not realizing that it shifted a little bit with
And
Ophiuchus.
you truly are a Pisces. We looked you up, didn't we?
Right.
And the sun was clearly in Pisces on the day of your birth and the year of your birth.
Right. So I'm wondering, and I don't know if they went on to read the Pisces to see if it fit as well, but, you know, do
So, there's that theory that if you read every star sign, you're going to find yourself in every single one of them,
right.
but more so in some.
Mm-hmm. Plus,
So,
like the closer you are to your next sign, so if you're like right on the line, you are going
on
to
the
have some of
cusp,
those traits of the previous
both.
sign, and right.
Are you a cusp baby?
It's
Are you
not
like
like
right between signs?
I want to say I'm a week after it changes.
Me too.
So
I'm
that
a
would be
week after it
Pisces, right?
changes.
Close to Pisces anyway, then, right?
Yeah, yeah, you're really close to Pisces, and I'm really close to Taurus anyway.
Right.
So
So it's like we kind of just flipped to the other side. Now we're close to. I'm still close to Aries as well. If
I
you
really
move me
see the
to.
Piscean in you because of your love of biblical scripture, and the two fishes always have balance, the hermetic laws that you understand, the light, the dark, the happy, the sad,
And the
you
yin yang,
know.
that's kind of like two fishes.
Yep.
They're
Yeah, it does actually
chasing
look
each
like two
other, right?
fishes. Yeah, swimming around together, attached together, the
Yeah,
black and the white fish with an eye, with an eyeball.
yeah. So
So
that's
that's
interesting.
interesting. But I'm like, okay, guys, I can't listen to any astrology on YouTube because it always says things are in the wrong place. And I know it. I'm sitting there listening to it going, I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong. So what's the point of listening to it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I had my star chart done by Lori Lothian in our group here,
Oh,
and she's really good at that with putting your information in the charts and all of that. And I was born on 3:30 at 3:45, 3:45 in the morning. There's all these synchronicities with my birthday, the 0330, and it
yep.
comes to life
I see the
path
30
nine,
above your head right now,
and
which is the ohm.
yeah,
It just says 30 right above your head.
right. Which is cool because it's like a 33 in the middle of my uh, birthday too.
It
The day
is.
and the.
And the 345,
And I got the three
345.
on my hat. See, so we're good.
I
We're
mean, your mom
coordinating,
could have pushed you out at 3:33. She
right?
was really close.
maybe
Sorry, mom. Just
maybe she
kidding.
thought the synchronistic 3, 4, 5 would add a little momentum. Maybe, right?
Yeah, maybe you needed a little more than threes. Like my name, if you do numerology, I love numerology. I haven't done it for ages. I dabbled in everything just when I knew it was available. I'm like, oh, I'm going to do rune stones. Oh, I'm going to study numerology. And my birth name has 9 fives in it. That's a
Wow.
crazy amount of fives. And 5 is the real earth sign. We think it's 4 because of the 4 corners and the 4 seasons and the 4 cardinal directions.
Hmm.
But the 5, for some reason, in numerology, is the solid, grounded earth sign.
Are you using the Chaldean
No,
numerology or?
no, I'm just using, well, what would the regular be? Because Chaldean sounds
That's
esoteric. It sounds biblical.
right. The Chaldean is
Yeah.
the oldest. That's the channel. What is it called? Decode Your Reality.
I'm
Um,
going there after this. I'm going straight to Chaldean numerology and looking up my name
yeah.
because
So
it
when you
could
go
give
to
me a totally
Gematrinator,
different.
when you go to
Yeah,
Gematrinator, you can click on ciphers and add that to the ones that are there. That way you get the Chaldean along with the
I
other ones.
did. I've got some crazy names that associate with me,
Hmm.
like Obama and Lucifer and Child of God, and you too.
Right.
You've
Yeah.
got like everything going in there. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah. There was a even the wing makers lines up numerologically or with gematria.
With your name?
Yeah. So when you go to Gematrinator and you enter stuff in there, you can see what matches it. It'll show you which ciphers match underneath it. So I was kind of surprised to see that. That's pretty cool. Because I guess it's things that people type in there. and try it
Yeah,
out.
I
So,
like that. I like the gematria. I find the numerology goes a little bit deeper. I always just get what associates, the words that associate with my names on the calendar,
right.
the generator for gematria, which is super cool. And I do my first name, I do my professional name, I do my married name, I do my birth name, because I'm a woman. My name has changed with every phase of my life.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't happen to guys. You're born with a name and you die with a name.
Right. That's interesting because I just did. There's this other site called Jovian Archive that you can go to and get a free. It's called if you look up human design, um, Jovian Archive or something like that. I'm actually going to probably do a video on it in the future because it's so interesting and it gets all into, all the stuff about yourself and what gates you have open and what you're sort of hardwired for and what you have sort of writable open. It's open to programming, but that could be positive or negative. So you could have things about your personality that were programmable, and you want to rewrite those things. But then you
Yeah.
have some stuff that's hardwired that you're just like, it's your gift to be that way about certain things. So it's really cool to get in there and see about all that different stuff. And you just need basically your name and birth name. I tried it. That's what I was going to say. I tried it Shane Cornell, and then I tried Shane Cornell Robinson, and adding Robinson didn't change anything about. So it's
Oh,
mainly like the date, at least with the Jovian archive system. I believe it's spelled J O
where's it come
V
from?
I
Is it
A N.
Roman? Jovian? It sounds Latin, jovial. Is it where's
I'm not sure.
Jovian come from?
I'm not sure. Let me see if I can drop that.
Interesting.
Jovian. Yeah, it's Jovian archive.
I'd love
And
to know
then you
more
just
about
click
that.
on free reading at the top.
Okay. That's another place for all of us to go after this.
Right. You just have to know the time that you were born. Um,
I do.
which
At 8:22 p.m.
you could probably, if you knew a roundabout, you could probably do that. I know my mom was
Yeah,
in
like if you
labor
only
for a
knew
long
8
time,
p.m.,
so
it'd probably be pretty darn close,
right.
right, to knowing 8:22. I just had to look it up. I had Livette do a chart for me that was off the charts. It was she does alchemical astrology. April knows about her. I sent April over there. I sent a lot of people over there. April loves the alchemical astrology. I don't know if she's in here today because it is mystical. It is based on the etymology of words. It is based on the ancient mystery schools of planets having personalities
Hmm.
and characters.
There it is, you guys, in the chat there. I
Cool.
just pasted the link in there. It's
Awesome. I'm going to do that too.
jovianarchive.com/human_design. Looks like.
Yeah, I wonder where that emanates from. A lot of the Indian stuff, the old Hindu astrology is really cool too. They have a word for that. I can't remember what that astrology is called. Don't know.
I never really got into that stuff. It was, evil when I was growing up, so I
Yeah,
never
it's
got.
pretty ancient though. It's
Right.
really old.
Yeah. I don't feel that way now, but I just wasn't allowed to like check it out.
Okay, so are we allowed to mention any conspiracy theories at all? I mean, I don't want to
We
get
could
us.
talk around it. I mean, AI isn't intelligent enough to figure out what we're talking about.
Okay, so India is in an uproar right now. Here's our CP. Everybody knows what that means. News. Shane and I love to talk about it, laugh about it, and get over it. It's like know what's going on. Knowledge is power, but don't get sucked in
Oh,
to
thanks, Ruth.
the
Jovian means happy or jovial. Jovian
oh jovial.
means happy or joyful. And
Hey
that
Ruth,
really
yeah,
is
that
what it's
makes.
about, being
Is
more
that
in
like
a.
would that be Roman? Is that coming from the Latin? Roman?
I'm not really sure where it came from.
Because
She
they
might know.
had the religion of Mithras and Mithra, who is Jesus Christ. Have you ever looked into that? What happened to Mithra happened to Jesus. It just happened thousands of years before Jesus was born.
Right. Right. And that's actually one of the things that, I've noticed going around trying to sort of remove Jesus from everything. And it's like, I think it's just the opposite. I think we've sort of combined different people, which I actually believe might actually be Jesus coming in different and appearing to different people. We had watched
Different
that one
times.
thing where the guy was like decoding these Mayan sarcophaguses. Didn't you send me that? I think you did.
Yeah.
And he's
Yeah.
decoding it, and it looks like it's Jesus leaving his calling card saying, hey, this is me down here, the man from Galilee or whatever. And I don't know how he decoded it, but I believe that it's
Yeah,
like
well,
this.
he was moving pictures around, and when it's
Yeah.
like they stamp these pictures on the sarcophagus or
Yeah.
sarcophagi,
Right.
and then if you put them up on the screen and put them above each other, you'd get Jesus, you'd get the cross, you'd get all that stuff.
Yeah. And he knew, like, line these dots up and then pivot it on these dots. And then he had it all figured out. He had to have
He had
gotten
it,
a
he spent
download.
his life on that. I wish I could remember his name and the video guys, but I can't. That stuff
That's
comes
so
and
funny. I
goes.
was just going to ask you if I think you might have sent it to me on Hangouts. I just need to scroll and scroll and scroll until I find it.
I think April sent that to me. April, you're in my mouth and my mind and my heart again today. I think April sent me that video,
April, if
and
you're
I sent
here,
it to you.
gosh, is she here? April,
The
maybe?
guy did a 9 hour, didn't he do a
Yeah,
nine
it was
hour
very long, but it was very
conference?
extensive. It was very,
Yeah,
I was riveted. Yeah.
I was riveted. It was archaeological and mystical.
And of course, I had that experience, that hypnagogic image of being buried alive in a sarcophagus in 2017, and I didn't know what it was, but I was just overcome with this memory of being buried in one of these things and feeling that panic and knowing like I was going to die, and then like coming out of it and like, what the heck was that? So of course it
Yeah.
got my attention a little bit.
Oh, yeah. Like my mom had this thing when we'd walk into the Museum of Natural History in Chicago, and I was a kid and a teenager, and she'd get panic attacks, and she couldn't breathe when we went down into the Egyptian tomb, where
Hmm.
they took pieces of an Egyptian tomb and reconstructed it in the basement of the Natural Museum, the
Right.
Field Museum of Natural History
Hmm.
in Chicago. It's huge. It's just like in the movies, where you go into a place that just has catacombs of stuff all around. It's like one of the best museums I've ever been in. And she got a psychic reading later saying that she was a servant of somebody in ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia, that region.
Hmm.
And they did have the practice of when the kings and queens and priests and priestesses died, they would take their whole staff and bury them alive in the tomb to serve them on the other side.
Right.
So sometimes there were as many as 500 people entombed with somebody of importance who died a terrible. They just had to sit there and wait until the air ran out or their food ran out. I don't know. Very depressing topic. Sorry about that. But it makes us appreciate where we are today.
Sure
You
does.
think COVID's bad, right? How'd you like to go in a tomb because you were somebody's servant?
Now I'm thinking like, wow, if that was my experience in that sarcophagus, there might have been people outside thinking I'm in there dead, and I was alive inside too. So,
Well, the fact of the matter that I'm putting on I studied archaeology at university because I wanted to be an archaeologist digging in sand with a toothbrush for the rest of my life, but it wasn't a very practical job. So I
right.
didn't become an archaeologist, but I studied it. And if you were entombed in a sarcophagus, you were somebody of importance because lowly people did not get a sarcophagus. They were lucky if they got one of those wooden coffins that were painted on the outside. Those were like important people too. Most people, if they could even get mummified, were just stuck in like a cave where the poor people were buried with their mummified bodies.
Mm.
So you were of somebody of importance if you were in a sarcophagus. And
Well,
yes,
somebody didn't like
from
me either. Of
exactly.
importance.
I
Somebody of
still
importance didn't like me, and I was probably
It could have been
drugged. It
like your
looked like I was
brother or
dead.
sister or not your mom and dad, hopefully. But I mean, when you study ancient Egypt,
Or an heir, my
they were
son.
sleeping with each other and murdering each other like there was no tomorrow. Kill your brother, kill your uncle, kill your aunt, just to gain the power of the throne.
Wow.
They were murderous and incestuous. They constantly married their brothers and sisters. I mean, how gross is that? So yeah, it could have been a family member, sorry, going off on this, burying you alive, telling everybody, look, he's dead. I get to be the king or the pharaoh now, right?
Right, right.
Wrap him up, get him in a sarcophagus.
So I guess going back to the Jesus thing, that kind of led us down this sarcophagus road here.
I know, but it's interesting, isn't
It
it?
really
It might
is.
not be.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm wondering, when I view Jesus, the what I consider the real Jesus, he was very non-religious, right? He was like a rebel to the system. He called the religious leaders hypocrites, and he hung out with the people that were, according to the religious leaders, on their way to hell, right? So,
Yes.
so when you look at all of that, and then you see this sort of, we already know, like I found my way out of religion with the Bible itself, with nothing else. So it's there. If you read it and you really consider what's being taught and what the Bible says and the differences, you can find your way out. But what would be the purpose of, I can see them taking the Jesus story, because this is how I view it. They took the Jesus story and they sort of turned it into a religion to control people, right? So,
Yeah.
but what would be the purpose of trying to get rid of Jesus altogether? You know?
Well, if you notice, I've dropped Netflix. Sorry, I had enough of it because the programming for younger people is way too sexual and way too violent and way too satanic.
Mhm.
If you watch, it's not overtly, but if you watch anything on Netflix, and I don't have mainstream TV like CBS, NBC, and all those, so I don't know if it's there too. Every single program will flash an upside down cross at some point
Mm.
in the program. Doesn't matter if it's the British baking show. You look at all the flags, and they're not flags. They have upside down crosses on every one going around the perimeter of the tent, and that's a Netflix original. Anything that Netflix produces, I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying this. Anything NF produces
Mhm.
has the upside down cross on it, so it looks like that instead of like that.
Really?
Yeah, you'll find it somewhere. It'll be a shadow on the wall. It'll be where two pieces of wood cross on a panel or on a window. They're just everywhere. And I was going to do a video on it and just pick them all up and show people how common the upside down cross is in
Right.
all movies and television. But I thought, no, I'm just promoting that energy if I
Right.
pull it all together and show everybody. But I think talking about it makes you wiser. Like you guys will all be on the lookout for it now and go, there it is. Look,
Right.
see, it's a shadow on the wall, but it's definitely an upside down cross. So I think the dark side of humans right now who are working on the dark side really want to get rid of Christ and Christ consciousness and the teachings of Jesus, because that's unity. That's do unto others as you want them to do unto you. That is to love your fellow man and woman as if they are your brother, your
The
sister,
golden
your
rule,
mother,
yeah.
your father. Yeah, it's all about unity.
Yeah,
And
I
what
agree.
is going on politically right now and medically right now is all about separation. It's all about separation.
All
So
about
I think that's why they're
hypocrisy
trying to
as
remove
well.
it.
Just like the religious leaders, we're
Yes,
seeing it throughout government and everything, and it's like the hypocrisy is becoming so clear and evident.
it's
It's
wonderful. It's
overt.
out in the open. I'm like, why is it so overt instead of
Right.
covert?
Right.
Everybody can see it now. Everybody who thinks we're crazy CPs, you know what
Yeah.
that means,
Yeah.
can actually see it and go, well, hang on a minute. That's not right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get messages from friends who thought I was crazy but loved me anyway for 20, 30 years going, you know what? You were absolutely right. Everything you told me is true.
Hmm.
And I'm like, whoa, what they're doing is waking people up. So that's a wonderful thing. That's something we should celebrate.
Something I like to, let's see. Oh, you can't screenshot. Sherry says you can't screenshot Netflix. I've tried.
Hey, Sherry, have you? I know because there's so much on there. I
I've
know.
had
You can
stuff
take
like
you can
that
take a
where,
picture of it with
yeah,
your camera.
yeah, exactly. That's so funny that you said that, because I can screen, like if I did it here, it wouldn't detect me screen recording, I don't think. But yeah, when you do the screen thing, I've had it, because you'll know because it'll have the closed captioning, but black everywhere. You're like, what the heck? Why didn't it say that?
I'm done. I'm done with Netflix. I still have Amazon Prime so I can watch some movies and shows.
Right.
And then I've got the free Roku. I paid for Roku, but I get the free streaming channels, which is enough for me.
But I
I'm
mean,
always
they're
on
really all
YouTube.
evil, aren't they? At the
Yeah,
end of
they're
the
all
day.
evil. And I'm always on YouTube. So I can put YouTube now on my Roku so I can watch my YouTube on my TV, which is kind of cool.
Right.
So I can see you blown up, you know?
And we can spread the light on all these platforms, right?
Absolutely. But knowledge is power. Know it. Don't turn away from it. Face it head on, fearlessly, and then transmute it.
Hmm.
Transmute it with your laughter, transmute it with your prayers, transmute it with everything that doesn't lead you into fear, because it's designed for fear. And if you do the opposite of fear,
Hmm.
then you're actually removing what it was designed for. Therefore, you're transmuting it.
All right.
Poof, it's gone. I mean, if it's designed for fear and it's not making you fearful, That's a pretty important step in life.
And I think it does have to get that way where we can see what's going on and things can get alarming, but we ultimately know it's got to get that way to wake people up. And I was just brought back to our, well, not our last one that got interrupted, but the one before that. We were talking about kind of wanting to hurry things along. Wasn't that one? And we're like,
Yes, and we've done it. We've speeded everything up, guys.
that's what I was going to say. It definitely seems like things have sped up, and we knew it would be more difficult by speeding it up,
But
But we
what
were
if we
like,
did that? Okay, seriously. We spent 3 years every Saturday night for 3 years, the same group of people, usually about 60 to 64 people,
yeah,
asking the world together, God together, humanity together for the same thing. We asked for truth. We asked for the veil to come down. We asked for all humanity to wake up.
and it's
Holy
people who actually
moly.
believe it, right? That makes a huge
Yes,
difference. When you put your intentions in there and you really feel it and believe it, that's
we felt it
powerful.
and we believed it and we,
It's
we, we,
powerful.
we really, and so maybe we did this. Maybe this is our reality bubble where everybody's waking up because we worked on it weekly for 3 years. Isn't that
Right.
true?
Oh, absolutely.
So this is our bubble. We got it, and now we got to deal with it.
Right. So I guess now we need to, I think, strength. People need
Shrimp?
strength.
Strength.
Yeah, strength
Strength.
to, either say something, if they're in a position to say something. Right now, I don't have a lot in my sphere of influence, but there are people that do have things around them that they have choices they can make. They got things they can refuse to do, or they can.
Like doctors and
Yeah,
nurses and
exactly,
politicians.
exactly.
And a lot of them are starting to come out. They're coming out of the shadow. Have you noticed that on YouTube and Facebook? I don't do
Yeah,
much Facebook,
right.
and I don't do Twitter ever. I'm still there, but I'm not there. They're coming out of the shadows and saying what they believe is true.
Mm-hmm.
Very brave thing to do. What is that group called? Sherry will know.
Frontline
Doctors for
doctors.
America. Frontline doctors.
America's
Frontline
frontline
doctors.
doctors. Yeah, sorry.
America's frontline doctors. Oh my God. So brave. And they'll sit there and say, we know what we're doing is very dangerous, but we're going to do it anyway because we took an oath. We took an oath, a Hippocratic oath, to first do no harm. So we can't go along with what's going on because we would be doing harm.
Right. And now the
And I'm
truth's
like,
coming out about
oh,
that. You can
brave.
totally see suppression of information. Like, I don't know, there's just so much going on and it's not hitting the news at all. You
Well,
know what I
here's
mean?
my CP news for the month. Okay. So in India, they're up in arms big time. Lots of rioting. Not a lot of people getting killed during the riots. The riots are like they go out and they wave a lot of flags and scream and shout. And then all the armed people go out and yell and scream at them. But no buildings get burned down and nobody gets hit and nobody gets shot. So it's a very kind of peaceful rioting, which
Mm-hmm.
is nice to see. And it's about GMO seeds because all of their crops are failing now and they don't own any of the seeds and they can't grow anything and they can't afford to buy the seeds because natural seeds from God reproduce themselves. You grow the crop, you fertilize it. When the crop's done, it gives you the bounty of the seeds for next year's food. And the GMO seeds don't do that. They're owned. You have to buy them every year. You have to buy a sack of them every year, plant them and eat them. And then there's no seeds and you have to buy another sack.
Right.
So something like 10,000 Indians, I don't know, committed suicide. Like, I don't know if it was that month or that year. And now they're just out in the streets saying, we want our natural seeds back. We want God's seeds. We don't want to buy our seeds anymore. And on the other side of that CP news is that Mr. Closing the Gates
Mm-hmm.
is buying up all American farmland.
Right.
So not only is he into the seeds and the vaccines, but he's also now buying up on all the farmland in America.
Mm-hmm.
So there's seems to be some kind of big tie in this reset that goes beyond medicine and
Well,
goes beyond economics.
I did find the connection because, like, for a while I was wondering how the major operating system software guy, by the initials BG, would get into human stuff when, there were so many problems with keeping it off of the actual computers and,
Hmm.
The things that
Hmm.
we're talking, the thing that seems like the common denominator, right? The
Yeah.
foreign, bodies, if you will. But here's the thing: when you look into one of the producers, one of the major producers that starts with a M, that he funds, you'll see that they don't even talk about it like it's a V, a X, X. They talk about it like it's an operating system. Have you noticed on the website?
Yes. So it's like we've taken technology and we're approaching our food and our bodies and our medicine as a tech support team.
Right. Yeah, that's
Yes.
pretty strange. And they talk
That's
about it
pretty
in the future having
strange.
connections and apps added to it. So it's a framework. So like
It is a
how are they
framework
planning
because
on programming it and stuff?
it's
That's
going
the
to hold
question.
MasterCard. Are we allowed to say that? We'll call that MC. It's going to hold the cryptocurrencies in the bloodstream. So,
Hmm.
yeah, I would say that's high tech. That's high tech. But that's not now. That's not like right now. It's we're just starting to go down that path right now
But they're
with the
actually
current one.
calling the one that they're giving out right now an operating system. That's what makes me like. Mm.
Yeah,
So
it's
it's
like
more
why
like
is
the
everything out in the
framework.
open? Because if they say it out in the open and everybody goes along with it, it's like, hey, they agreed.
Yeah, you can look
They
right on their
wanted the
website.
operating system in their blood.
Hmm.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
There's one more connection that I have to get out in a really good way because otherwise we're gonna be
Take your time.
scolded. Okay. So there's a guy on Facebook and I like his research. I can't remember his name. Somebody sent it to me. You can only get it from messenger to messenger to messenger. It can't be put up anywhere because as soon as it's put up, not only does it go down, but the whole Facebook page gets closed. So people are sending it by messenger. And someday they're going to figure that out and remove our messengers somehow. But in the meantime, he shows the CV map for the whole year and he puts that straight over the one,
Political map.
two, three, four, five, A, B, C, D, keep on going map. You got it?
Hmm.
Okay. And they are identical. And India has no CV because it has no A, B, C, D, E, keep going. One, two, three, four, five. So the
Right.
places in the world, like all of Africa except for South Africa,
Hmm.
India, parts of Asia, parts of China, definitely not Europe, a lot of the middle of the United States. A lot of those places have high rates of the CV, which match their, what's it called when
Technology.
you put something out? You just put it out. It's been coming out since Wuhan in October 2019 is where the first ones went up of
Mm.
the A, B, C, D, keep going.
Hmm.
One, two, three, four, five.
All right.
So,
There's definitely a
um,
connection there, but that's what I think the
yeah,
connection is. Because if it's a software, how are they going to program it? I think they're probably going to program it through that if that's how the
I
rollout's
agree.
happening,
I agree
right?
100% that this technology that you're talking about, putting in our red streams in our body,
Yeah,
is an operating system. Well, the most logical thing it's going to tie into is that ABC 1, 2, 3 thing.
yeah.
Yeah. So, and the reason we're saying it this way, guys, it's not because we're scared. We would come out and say it, and we would have this video either shut down or removed. So we're doing it just so we can keep talking because everything's done by AI algorithms.
Right.
There's bots listening to us right now that are listening for oops, sorry, bad sign, who are listening for keywords. Uh, this world, I swear to God.
But that's the thing; it can't think. We can talk in a way that people will understand, and the algorithm has no idea. I mean, even if we're
Because
talking
the
about
algorithm
algorithms or
isn't
programs,
creative. Yeah,
right?
AI is not creative.
Right. So it's
Humans
just
are.
it's comparing. It's probably got this column of words. It's like, oh, that word was said. That word
Whoop,
was said. Oh,
whoop.
five words
Okay,
were
boom,
said. That's
cut.
in the yeah.
That's it. Gone. So I don't know. We've got this.
That's going to
Okay,
change
so
soon, though.
some
Telegram
friends
is
and
an excellent way for people
are you on
to.
Telegram?
Yeah, definitely.
Is anybody there?
That's where a lot of the information that's getting around really quickly is. So I recommend anybody who
I'm going on
wants
Telegram.
stuff to share with family members that is pretty. I mean, there's some pretty shocking stuff that's available already. It's happening. It's things are coming out. And it's not easy. But I felt, and it was so funny because I just saw Blossom Goodchild's video yesterday was talking about you'll feel the strength come on you, come over you when you need to do something or deal with something, and it's just a natural thing, and I felt that as I came across different information. I felt that inner strength, you know what I mean? So
Oh, that's good.
so no
It's like you're
fear.
ready for this time. We came here for this time. We're more than prepared for this time.
Hmm.
People in this group came together for a reason. We've been together a long time now, a good amount of time.
Hmm.
And we
It's like
strengthen
that.
each other.
It's
Yeah,
like
with
that
our
when you're
numbers.
renovating. You got to get in there and get things. You got to clean out the trash and get your hands dirty, and that's what we're here to
We got to
do.
figure out what the next step is, though. The veil is down, the truth is out. So, from our perspective, for our group, what's our next job?
I think
It's
right
no
now,
longer waking people up, they're awake.
right? Well, I think just getting the information out there, because to me it seems like there's a WAR going on, right? But it's not the typical hot one that we typically think of. It's
It's a
all about
media,
optics.
WAR.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all about
media, it's
optics,
information.
and it's all being revealed as being almost completely an illusion. And there's all of this alternative stuff you can say. That's what they're saying is happening. Look and see what's really happening. And I
I
think
still think they try to round us up on separate platforms to see who the rebels are, which is okay. Go to the separate platforms, get your strength in numbers and groups there, and then stay on the main ones like YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Stay out there where normal people are too.
right. I think it is one of those things though where you get it, you have it on your phone, you just show the people you're with. You know what I mean? Because
That's a tool. That's a good tool.
yeah,
And me, I think one of my jobs is to make people laugh about it. I know it's hard to laugh about it, but sometimes you can, and just dispel the fear. Just get those endorphins kicking in you. See the truth. Don't run away from it because sometimes your imagination is worse than the actual fact.
right.
You can build it up in your mind to be much worse than it is. So don't run away. Look at the truth and then figure out a way to not be afraid,
Hmm. And
whatever
really
that is in you.
and I think that's where it comes in. Where just being there for people and having someone for people to have someone to talk to. So we that's why we're all spread out. You got to look at that too. Isn't it kind of weird that you know we all aren't on the same block? We're all spread out like
All over the
chocolate
world.
chips in a cookie, right?
Yeah, we are the chocolate chips in the cookie. And the
So
earth really needs us now,
absolutely,
and we're here for the earth. I mean, God, I'm meditating probably one more than an hour a day now, every day. I do it like you. I do it in different segments instead
right.
of just one big one.
Yeah, that's how I have to do it too. Yeah, I was actually up at 4 today. It's so funny that
Whoa.
yeah, it's like well, that was 5 for you, but
Did you get a nap in? No?
no, I might get one in later. Actually, I was feeling a little bit tired, but I had a little caffeine, so I'm feeling better now.
Okay. So like how much sleep a night are you getting?
But like last night, I think I went to bed at like 10 or something. So
Okay.
I
So
got pretty good.
I've been watching these videos on, for health and weight loss and energy, boosting
Hmm.
vitality with all the stuff that we're ingesting and around, you can't avoid it all.
Hmm.
That I've been watching God, I wish I could remember his name. Never mind. If I find it, I will go back and put it in the comments. And this expert on vitality who cured himself of brittle bone disease. He was diagnosed at 16. He was running at school and his leg broke while he was running, but he
Yes.
wasn't diagnosed until 25.
Wow.
They didn't know why his leg broke so easily just from running at school and gym class. And he cured himself of brittle bone disease and helps others cure anything based on sleep and food, of course. And the sleep is, he says, you have to get good sleep in order to repair your body because your body will only repair its DNA during certain levels of sleep. And he says the Goldilocks, the golden hour is between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. Your body produces all this natural melatonin, which then goes into melatonin receptor sites all over your body and it
What was the
kickstarts
times again?
10 p.m. to 2 a.m.
Mm.
It kickstarts DNA repair. So, I'm up till 2 a.m., sometimes 3. And even if I get 8 hours of sleep, I'm not getting the same kind of sleep.
Right. So you're
It's
saying that
something,
that sleep pattern, last night's sleep pattern, is actually an optimal one that hit the sack
yeah.
around 10 and
You just got the most DNA repair so
Wow,
that you
nice.
feel more
I
vital
felt
and
more
younger.
repaired when I got up. Man, I felt
There
great
you
this
go.
morning. I was ready to start. I was like, man,
You're
two
like,
hours till the sun comes up. Jeez.
4 a.m. and nobody's up. What's the matter with you guys, you
Right.
lazy people? So I believe him. And the other thing that, I mean, I would watch like 8 to 10 hours of this guy's videos to get his understanding in my own brain. And I will go find it and put it in a comment later after
Hmm.
this post so
Okay.
other people can find him. And the other thing is food. He said, because like I have this problem of metabolism. Of course, I have, hypothyroidism runs in the female line of my family. We all have it. It probably comes from the fluoride in the water because the fluoride in the water does things to your pineal gland and your thyroid glands, all your glands, actually.
Hmm.
It kind of calcifies them and makes them harder. And he said, you eat the same foods every day and you eat less and less and less and less and you don't lose weight. And I'm like, oh, he's talking about me. He knows me personally because I eat the same foods every day and I eat less and less and less every year, every month. And I still have the weight. None of it goes away. And he said, that's because you've put your body to sleep by eating the same foods every day, like for maybe 10 years or 20 years of your life.
Wow.
And he said, eat something new every day, something you don't like, something you've never tried. Eat something new. And of course, eat the rainbow. Every color in the rainbow has to be eaten every day and eat something new. And you eat something new you've never eaten, and your body wakes up and goes, what the heck was that? What do we do with that? We need enzymes to digest that. Oh, it's got some fat in it. No, we need some bile. Okay, what else do we need? I don't know. I've never had this before. Have you? And your organs are like talking to each other, going, no, I've never seen this in here before. And it wakes up your metabolism, and you just start like, your metabolism's running because it's trying to figure out what to do with this strange food. So I'm going to go on the strange food diet.
Oh, don't be
And
upset. That's so funny. Someone's like, I'm a night owl, though. I am too,
I
typically.
know,
So
me
I think it's like if
too.
you need the DNA repair, like last night, I just got awfully tired. I'm like, oh, don't fight it. Just go to bed. That's what I
Well,
say.
last night I took 1 milligram of melatonin drops and put myself to bed at 10 a.m. I'm like, I'm going to get that DNA repair whether I want it or not. I'm going to bed at 10.
That's one way to do it. I'll
I'm a
probably
night
for
owl
sure, if
too.
I don't take a nap, I'll for sure be asleep by 10 tonight because I got up so early. I'll be like, oh, so
Oh
tired.
my God, for sure. Are you kidding? Maybe 9.
Right.
Maybe 9 you'll be asleep.
I'll probably
Well,
be sleeping an hour
I have
for a
written
nap.
all my songs and all my books at night.
Hmm.
I'm very creative when the world is asleep.
Well, here's the thing. For me, like when my kids were younger, it was like the middle of the night was my alone time. It's like nothing going on. But like now that all my kids are older, they're all like me. So I get up. They're like awake when I'm asleep now. You know what I mean? I'll get up at 3 or 4, and they're still up doing their
It's like,
thing.
hey, how you doing? I'm fine. What are you
They're
doing?
all mini me's.
All mini me's. Yeah, I'm a night owl too, but I think I need to do a little more DNA repair. So I'm going to make myself go to sleep early. I'm going to try anyway. Now, you think because I went to bed at 10 that I got up early? No, I just got like 10 hours of sleep. I just slept more. So maybe I needed it, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So as long as you hit that window.
As long as you
Mhm.
get enough melatonin. He said, don't OD on melatonin, guys, because if you take too much melatonin every single night, it actually makes your melatonin receptors turn off. So that when you naturally produce melatonin while you're sleeping, your receptors aren't soaking it up because they're going, oh God, no, we don't need to. We don't need that melatonin because she's gonna OD us on melatonin tonight at 10 o'clock. She's gonna give us 5 milligrams.
That's funny.
So
Yeah,
it's like, don't OD on melatonin. Use it wisely when you need it.
yeah. Hawk's saying that if they go to bed early, they wake up at 3 a.m. And that's how it was for me last night.
Yeah,
I was
me too. I
totally
woke
like
up
that,
I
ready
think
to
I
go.
woke up at like 4 or 5, and unlike Shane, I did not bound out of my bed. I closed my eyes and said, "Go back to sleep, please go
Well,
back to
actually, I
sleep."
did that. I did that, but it was like 3. So I did force another hour, and like, it's only 3. Gosh, I can't get up
Oh
then.
my
But
gosh.
when I got back up at like 4 something, I was like, it's close enough. Just a little
Yeah, I think
after
I might
4.
do that next time because by forcing myself to go back to sleep, I put on a meditation, a nice one that I trusted, on my phone and put it away from my bed, my head, and I didn't put it on autoplay. So I knew it would play the 1 hour meditation, get me back to sleep, and then shut off.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel that's like a safe way to use YouTube and the phone for sleep meditations. And it did, but then I slept another 5 hours. So I like slept 5 hours, woke up being dark outside, didn't know Shane was up, or I could have like been talking to you, and then made myself go back to sleep, which took like an hour to fall asleep, and then slept another 5 hours. So that's crazy.
Yeah, whenever I get John Binney's notification for putting out his morning, I'm like, oh my gosh, is it really that late? I need to go to bed. Like he's already getting up, man. I got to get some sleep. So yeah,
I know, I get those too, and I'm like, no, I go back to sleep. And then I also get Eva, Once Upon a Timeline. I'm like, oh no, she doesn't even come on till 3 a.m. my time. And I'm still up and I'm still on YouTube. I should be asleep. I should be in bed. And there's Eva coming on because she comes on at midnight, right?
hmm
So I always catch her videos later the next day.
Yeah, I was thinking. Let's see, wake up early. Oh no, are we going to come out with another book? Actually, there's a link. We should probably mention our book. There's
We
a link.
never mention our book.
I know.
It's trickling along. It's the number one Mandela Effect book on YouTube, but it's still not like the number one book in the world,
Right,
right?
right. Number
So
one Mandela effect book. I'll take it.
number one Mandela Effect book on YouTube. I'm very, very, very proud of that. We're usually in the top listings of 9 million books, somewhere between 135,000, which is super good, and 500,000. We're listed out of 9 million. That's not bad.
Not at all. Wow. We're
So
definitely
that's
closer
called,
to the top than the bottom. That's a good
we're
thing.
way closer to the top than the bottom. Mandela Effect, Friend or Foe. And we got Spirit Walker in there doing a lot of quantum science. We got Vanessa VA in there doing a lot on brain waves and the
hmm
Schumann resonance.
Yeah,
We got Shane in there, got me in there doing our things.
yeah. So that's awesome, and it's available for ebook too. So
Yeah, and we brought the price way down to like $5.99.
right.
So that really helps for people on a budget to get it into their phone or their computer.
Yeah. And then we had a little spike in Japan. Should we talk about
We
that?
had a huge spike in Japan. I don't know how. I'm thinking somebody
Is
on
it going to
radio or
continue?
TV. I don't know.
It was the
Somebody
last
on
month
radio
of
or
our chart.
TV.
So did you
It
realize
was
that
last month.
the trend could continue? We don't know what it could be even bigger the next month. You know?
I'll go check. I'll go check because I can actually check by region. And suddenly Japan just woke up to Mandela Effect, Friend or Foe, and started buying the book,
Right.
which put our rankings from 500,000 up to 135,000. That was really good. Out
Now,
of 9 million books.
when we were working on the cover, and you went to your meditation group, and you were talking, didn't someone see it getting really big in Japan?
They
Or
saw it getting really big in Germany and Japan. Do you remember?
yeah, okay,
Germany. We're going to go do talks in Germany. Somebody psychic in my group that, I've still got 4 meditation groups a month that I get with physically, and we do what we do here,
right,
but we do it with 3 people, 10 people, whatever. And one of those groups from Lynn McTaggart's class for the intention master
hmm
class said, "Oh yeah, 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 your book's going to get really big in Japan, and it's going to get really. You're going to go talk in Germany. Remember?
yeah.
I want to go talk in
I forgot
Germany in
about the
English."
Germany part, but when I saw that on the readout of Japan and I saw it spike, I'm like, oh my gosh, somebody said something about Japan. That's why I wanted to ask you about that because it was
So
actually
it couldn't have
predicted by
just
somebody.
happened. Somebody must have mentioned it on a radio show or a TV show. They must have just said, "Hey guys, I just bought this really weird book called Mandela Effect, Friend or Foe, and it's really good." And
Right,
then that's all it takes for those people listening to it to go, "Oh, I want to go read that book."
right.
Right?
That's
Somebody had
awesome.
to kick it off there.
Let's getting the word out. So
Yeah. Our biggest sales are in the United States, Canada, Australia, the UK, and a few in South Africa, a few in New Zealand. So, of course, they're in the English speaking countries. It's written in English. We don't have it translated yet.
right.
It's expensive. We got to wait until we get good sales and then we'll translate it into different languages.
And we got kicked out of somewhere. Where was it? UK?
Oh, yeah. The UK, Ireland, Britain, England, and Scotland have kicked us off Kindle for absolutely no reason because of their crisis, their CV crisis. Everybody's saving money. So, of course, they don't want to buy the hard copy there. They want to buy the cheap Kindle. And we've just been taken down. The United Kingdom's just removed us from their Kindle. They don't like what we're saying. But thank God in the rest of the world, they don't mind. And they've got it up. Because if we lose Amazon, oh my God, how would we sell our book?
I take it as
We
a
couldn't.
badge of honor. Anytime somebody says they got kicked off Facebook, I'm like, good for you.
Yeah,
You did something right.
the truth. Oh my God, it's so true. And
Right.
I have these badge of honors called fact checkers. I'm like, yay, I got fact checked today, which means I must be onto something true.
Have you ever like really looked into that, how shady the fact checking is on that?
Yeah, I have. I've actually looked into who the fact checkers are. If you go to Truth in Media with Ben Swan, he will tell you who the fact checkers are. And they are you and me being paid by Facebook just to say, that's not true. That's not true. They have no authority whatsoever, no expertise.
The way they talk around, they shouldn't call them fact checkers. Should call them spin doctors, because the way they spin
Spin
this stuff,
doctors.
wow. I mean,
Even if it's
that's the
true.
most accurate name.
Yeah, like they'll say something that's true and they'll go, fact checked, contains partial false information. Then you go read what the false information is and there's nothing false. They can't
Right,
even tell you anything was false
right.
because that would make they would be lying then. But the fact of the matter is they think nobody's going to go in and take the time to read what they're saying on what the false bits are. They're
Right,
just going to slap it with inaccurate information, fact checked.
right.
Oh yeah, we are in an information WAR and a media WAR.
And that's why I
So,
think and I think you probably throw in some weather and other things with that too, probably, right?
oh yeah, somebody sent me a picture again
Crazy.
of snow that doesn't melt. He went outside, grabbed a fistful of snow like in Wisconsin, crunched it up a little bit, burned it, and it turned black without a single drop of water. It's like
Yeah, I did
he
that
goes,
myself here. I did it
fake
myself.
snow. He said, this is fake snow, like what you make at a fake mountain for, we're not allowed to say the F word, oh dear, when you're skiing. They put a bunch of chemicals in a machine and then they blow it out.
Mm,
And you get this heavy, heavy snow that doesn't melt, that doesn't turn to water.
mm. Well, this stuff here, I guess it eventually turns into water, but when you try to burn it, it just kind of shrinks up and gets black,
That's
you
like
know?
plastic.
Right, but I mean, like, if it slowly defrosts, it turns into water. So there's
Don't
something.
let your
Okay,
kids eat the snow.
you know
No
how you
snow for kids.
you know how you grab a cold Coke can and the metal just stays so cold. Well, there's a
Yeah.
trick. I used to watch Mr. Wizard's World, and he would have these little paper cups, that you used to like, just rinse your mouth out at the doctor or whatever. And he'd put water in it, and then he'd have a lighter underneath it, and the water would start boiling, but the paper wouldn't catch on fire because the
Because it's
water
wax.
prevented the paper
Oh,
from reaching the kindling point it needs to reach to
of
actually
course.
ignite. So the water would boil in this little paper cup with the flame touching it.
How interesting.
So that if you take that, right, and you imagine little tiny, tiny particulates of Coke can, right, that are maintaining their temperature inside the water molecule, then it's actually going to help shield, the
The rest of
from
it from burning.
it's from actually turning into a gas. It's going to help it hold its liquid state, but it causes it to sort of, because it's frozen,
Oh,
it
it's
causes
so
it to
weird.
shrink up. So yeah, I even had
It's so weird.
Daryl and Pam, the truck driver, sent me a
I
video.
know them.
Yeah, they sent me a video on Telegram, and he got out of the truck and he like made a little snowball, and it sat there and just shrunk up and got black on it. And then I went out on the porch and did the same
I
thing.
did the same.
Yeah, you have to compress it. You know,
So what? Yeah, what is that about? Would our snow in the 1960s have done that or not?
I don't think so.
Would our snow in the 1900s have done that or not?
Yeah, I don't
Is
know.
it technology based?
I don't know. The other thing, while we're on the topic, when I was sitting looking at the snow with the sun behind it, so I'm looking at the sun like kind of glistening off the snow. I saw all these beautiful colors in it. There was like purples and reds, like
Oh, rainbow
sparkles.
snow,
Yeah, I
like
was trying
rainbow
to.
clouds.
I tried. Yeah, exactly. I tried to photograph it, and they just ended up kind of looking like white sparkles. As much as I
I
adjusted it
think
and
that's
everything.
due to stratospheric aerosol injection. Let's be
I
use
don't know.
the actual words. I think that's aluminum, barium, and strontium, which is an interesting metal.
Right.
And you're talking nanoparticles. So you know how small that is. How
Well,
many nanoparticles of that are in one drop
right. So
of
I
rain?
heard that like way back when we were talking about those lines in the sky,
Yeah.
and somebody said said that, well, the green is that, and the red is this and that, and you're seeing the different chemicals in the different colors, right? But what I found is I noticed on my trip back from Sedona, I went by this factory that had this huge steam cloud coming out of it, and I got to see it in front of the sun, and it was all rainbowy. I think it's the sun. I don't think it's what they're
Okay.
doing up
I
there.
would prefer it be the sun, but I don't mind. I'm not afraid of that stuff anymore.
Right,
There's nothing that a human being can do on earth that will make me fearful because God is much more powerful
right.
and we're all pieces of God. We're all part of God. So God isn't all of us. So if they're going to, go do crap to the air, humanity will find a way around it.
Hmm.
Humanity will thrive no matter what a handful of really stupid humans do. I mean, really, you can get mad at them and call them all kinds of really bad names, or you can just really feel sorry for them and go, look how stupid they are. Look what they're doing to the planet.
Hmm.
That takes a lot of stupidity to go that far. So then you feel sorry for them. And you
Well,
pray for them. You pray that they get more intelligent and they become more spiritually aware
I
of
was
what
also
they're
going to
doing.
tell you, driving behind cars in the super duper cold weather, and they had all the steam coming out the other morning with the sun catching it. You know how it has to hit it at 40 degrees or something?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
40
when
to
the sun
40
was
degrees.
hitting the steam at 40 degrees coming off the back of the cars, it was like
Yeah.
this rainbow of colors of like on the
I don't
in the
remember
cars.
seeing that in the
Right,
60s
right.
and the 70s and the
No,
80s. I
no,
never
that's
saw that
new.
many
It's
rainbows.
new. I think it's the sun being so white now. It's got all that.
Or is it your consciousness has expanded so far that you see the rainbows now?
Yeah, I don't know. My son saw it too. I'm like, look at that, and he's like, wow, But this new generation, they're just like already wired.
Yeah, he definitely, being your son, would already be of a higher consciousness just by being around you. So,
Hmm.
yeah, maybe it is the sun is changing and the matrix and the material world is changing. Maybe our consciousness is changing too.
Hmm. I know. No, it seems alarming. People are saying that sounds scary with it being in the snow or whatever. But we're talking about nanoparticulates here. It's not even. Probably can't even see it under a microscope or anything. So
We're talking about things that we
it
can't
would probably pass
change,
right through you anyway. Is what
yeah,
I'm
by
getting at. It's so
ourselves.
tiny, it would just.
But you have to realize that who you are is so much greater than any of this stuff that we're talking about. You are so much more powerful, who
Yeah,
you really are,
absolutely.
than this little physical meat suit that you're walking around in down here going, oh my God, what are they doing now? Oh my God, what are they doing now? We got to get to the point where we don't close our eyes because information is powerful. You need to know what's going on so you can
Right.
adapt and adjust and do the right thing that's best for you and your family, right?
Hmm.
But don't be fearful about it
The
and
fear
don't
and the
worry.
worry does more harm than anything that you could possibly even be worrying
Absolutely.
about, right?
Absolutely. And to share it in this kind of a forum, the feedback that I get, it used to be like, oh my God, you and Shane talk about such scary things. And now it is, I am so glad you guys are talking about this stuff because if I hear it anywhere else, I get really scared. And when you and Shane talk about it, I'm not scared. I'm brave. And I'm like, yes, that's what we're going for.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't have to
Absolutely.
have fear about it. I think it's like there's a lot going on. There's a lot of heartbreaking stuff, and my heart goes out to all the stuff I've been seeing in Texas. Oh, and that
Oh, so
can.
many people living in tents now. I'm just like, no, that's my thing. I just want to get rid of homelessness worldwide.
Well, I'm talking about just the people with all the power outages down there and everything. And it's just so my heart's in prayers with all of those families affected, and there's a
Yeah,
lot of
they're on
painful
their own
stuff
power
going on.
grid.
Yeah.
Who would have known?
And they're really my neighbors. We were hit by that same
Yeah.
storm. We actually had the rolling blackouts here too. It never affected me.
Why would you guys deal with it better than Texas? But I just
We
better
weren't hit quite
equipment.
as hard. It was more south. The storm was
Okay.
like,
Okay.
gosh, did you see any of the footage of like these boats with like all this ice encapsulating the whole boat and
Yeah.
cars, and it's wild.
They're
Here
not
we just
prepared
had
for it.
water mains were breaking everywhere. One of ours broke down the street, so we went a day without water, or probably 8 hours or something.
But you guys had some bottled water.
Yeah, they came and knocked on the door and said, "Hey, we were going to have to fix this, and it's going to be going
Nice.
off." So we filled up the tub and all these water bottles and stuff. But
Nice.
we ended up not even really needing it. But there's some people it's been days without electric or water or gas,
That's
and
what we went through with Hurricane Irma by me. I was across from close to an ambulance, a fire station.
hmm
So I was one of the first to get electricity and water restored within 3 days.
hmm
People further out, a week. People further out, 3 weeks without electricity or water.
right.
I'm like, whoa, Nelly, 3 weeks is a long time.
Well, I had to go a week in St. Louis. I think it was like 4 or 5 days without power in the middle of
It,
the
it
summer. It was pretty
it's
horrible.
long. It is long. What we did was we lit candles and we played board games. We took out every board game and just played board games, all of them, over and over. Actually, we got through a lot of Monopoly, and those are long games. Oh my God.
That's when everybody wants to hear you play songs on your guitar. You're like, hey,
Yes, by candlelight, right?
right? So yeah,
So
you can
no
make a
matter
good
what
time out
happens,
of it.
we will survive, we will thrive, we'll do it through unity because we cannot be separated. So our group actually is in the best position to weather these storms. Seriously.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So on
It's
that note,
it's
what
two
did you guys
eleven. I was thinking
what do you
in
guys want to do the
11 minutes
meditation on?
it's going to be
211.
2:22 Central Time.
Oh yeah, 222 2021 211. If you're in the central part of America. What do you guys want to do the meditation on then? We've just got to stop saying be brave. The veil comes down. Everybody wakes up. We as a group need to move on to the next level, the next tier of helping humanity and helping Earth. Because we've done that for 3 years. We've woken people up. We've made people brave. We've brought the veil down by sharing information. Now, what's our next step?
I think sharing information and getting because people are still groggy.
Yeah, but how about unity? How about bringing everybody who's awake together to act as one voice, one consciousness? And then in doing that, we will be seeding and feeding collective consciousness with our strength, our bravery, our unity.
hmm I think, yeah, because even with us, we need bravery to speak out to some family members and maybe, so it runs on all levels. So, yeah, being brave at this time, the
And
strength
unity, being together,
yeah,
helping each other out. If you see an opportunity to help somebody in your
support.
community, do it. Just do it.
hmm
Don't think about it, just do it. And that's what I'm going to do. If you can help anybody out who's
Yeah, support,
struggling, support.
definitely. We're the support.
Okay.
We're the support team.
We're
The
just going to be the
unifying
best,
support team,
the
right?
unified support team. Like, is
Right.
there a name in there? Is there like a UTOF in there? Unified. Oh, it is. It's us. It's UST, Unified Support Team.
That works.
Or if we just do unified support, it's us. Woo, that sounds really nice. We are the group called us. We are unified support.
That's beautiful. All
I love
right.
it. I love it. Okay, let's spread it, guys. Let's be it. Let's do it.
So that's the main thing I think right now is just not playing the whole "I told you so" stuff,
I
but
don't
being
even
there.
go there. Are you
Yeah.
kidding? I could do that for 30 years. I could say so many I told you so's. Mm-mm.
Right.
Not even a bother.
Well, you would think that you don't need to say anything about that, but I've seen comments. I'm like, really? Come on, this ain't the time to be "I told you so" and right,
Yeah, there's some anger out there with people going, I told you this for 10 years in
right.
comments. And you're like, hey, get over it. Get over it. Don't be angry. Just be joyful that they're awake now and they're
Yeah.
aware and they see what you see. They see the hidden. They see the hidden.
I've heard from several people now where it's like, have you ever told somebody something they wouldn't listen, and then they come to you later and they're like telling you what you told them, and they don't even remember you told them, and I'm like, I've
Yes.
had like 3 people tell me that lately, and it's
It's
so
so
annoying.
frustrating. It's annoying. That is annoying. You're like, oh my God, I've been telling you this for years. And now you're telling me like I never told you.
You
But
have to act
again,
surprised. You're like, and you are
I'm just gonna
surprised,
act
right?
surprised. I'm just gonna go, okay, wow, that's really cool.
You're just
I'm gonna
not
play my
surprised how they
role
think, right?
and support them in their discovery
Right.
so they can keep waking up instead of putting up the wall and saying, hey, I told you that. Why are you telling me that? I'm not going to put up walls.
Right.
You just keep supporting their awakening process.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, so us, unity, what is it? Unity
Support.
support?
Yeah.
Unified support.
Unified support. Yeah.
We're us. We're unified support. And we are part of the best that humanity has to offer. I'm very proud to say that. That's not arrogant, it's just true. So if
Hmm.
it's true, it's not arrogant. And we're here to support everybody else and help everybody else,
I
uplift
totally agree.
humanity. And you guys, every thought we think and every feeling we feel and every action we take and every word we speak, which is a spell, okay, actually changes the collective. So that's how much power you have. You have a
The word.
tremendous,
Yeah.
tremendous amount of power. Don't just meditate in your head and visualize and manifest things silently in your head. Speak them out loud. Put those words of what you're trying to manifest into the physical to reverberate
Hmm.
far, far away from you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and
that's
it
what I'm
doesn't
doing
even have
now.
to be words. I always say I do the sigh thing all the time when I take a deep breath, and
Yeah.
that sigh of relief, hearing yourself,
We'll do that today.
just letting
We'll
it
do the
go.
sign.
Feels
Some
good.
people do ohms. I'm in with some meditation groups that love ohming.
Hmm.
I can't ohm for 5.5 minutes. I can do a short ohm, but my ohm is still my ohm, and
Yeah.
some people are in there, they're ohming like one guy did it and he sounded like a didgeridoo right out of his voice. And guess
Wow.
what? He plays the didgeridoo. So I'm like, how do you get your voice to sound like the didgeridoo? He did. And his was the longest ohm too. It just went on forever. I'm like, wow. That's incredible breath control. I imagine you going in a bathtub and holding your nose underwater for like 4 minutes to be able to do an O that long.
That's funny you said that. That's when I love to do the when I put my ears under the water and then it vibrates in
Seriously?
the water. Yeah, because you can just
Oh,
barely make any sound and it sounds so low and you can hold.
loud.
Yeah,
So loud in water.
yeah. And I always feel like, oh my gosh, is anybody hearing me outside the bathroom in there? But when I lift my head
Probably.
above, it's not very loud at all. But I
Aw.
like that
There's
because I feel
dad
like the
omen in the
vibration.
bathtub.
I feel like the vibration goes through your whole body that way, and it sort of unifies your cells. And
Oh yeah,
um,
because your body's made mostly water.
yeah,
70% water. So you're in the water, you're ohming the water. Are you ohming it underwater with your mouth underwater?
no, my ears are just under,
And your
and your
mouth is
mouth is
above
above.
the air.
But
So,
your throat is under though, and that's really where the sound's
oh,
being generated, right?
yeah, that's the didgeridoo part.
Mm, right? Because I can hum, and I don't even have to open my mouth. I can hardly even tell the
Mm.
difference when my ears are under if my mouth's open or closed. You know?
You guys know you're supposed to hum every day to decalcify your pineal gland. I've learned all these things that I never put into practice. It's like you learn it, it goes in one ear and out the other. I'm going to start humming every day. I need to get my pineal gland decalcified. That's your intuitive
Well,
foresight.
I just got a something that was saying that turmeric or turmeric now for the Mandela
Turmeric,
affected people that it's not turmeric anymore, it's turmeric.
turmeric.
That is supposed to help decalcify your
I
pineal
take
gland.
it. I take it for other reasons, but I'm glad to hear that it decalcifies the pineal gland.
Yeah.
And do you say pineal or do you say pineal? I
I say
never know which.
pineal because it was named after the pine cone, so I just typically say
I'm going to switch
pineal.
to pineal because both are allowed, but pineal sounds like menial
Right.
and like a penitentiary, penal
Oh yeah,
colony.
like penal code or something,
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
so I'm going to go to pineal. I like the pine cone,
Yeah.
which in the Vatican, there's a statue in the middle of that. What's that called? Where the Pope comes out and waves at everybody. What's that called? That square? Vatican Square. And it is just a statue with a giant pine cone on the top of it.
Yeah,
How
I've seen
interesting.
those. Yeah.
Seen those.
And it's on a staff thing too, isn't it?
It's on a staff. It's like Moses' staff has a pine cone at the top of it. But it's kind of like on an obelisk. An obelisk with a pine cone.
Interesting. It's definitely important, you know.
It's definitely important. Oh, look at all the topics that we covered today.
And I love it because it's got the golden ratio in it. You know that pattern that you find
Does it?
throughout nature, in the sunflower and even the spirals of the galaxy and the spirals of the water going down your toilet too. So,
And I've heard that the golden ratio, because I just caught something on it, is also seen in, this, the
oh yeah.
length of the fingers to the hand,
Hmm.
the length of the hand to the forearm, and the length of the whole arm to the
Hmm.
body. It
That's
has the
interesting.
golden mean ratio in it, even though it's not spiraling around. It
Right.
does the same
66. Yeah.
geometric, what's it called? 66
Or is it
mathematical
61? It's
ratio.
It's either 1.61 or 0.61, or
I
you can
can't
do it
remember.
either way. But, or it might be
That's really
62.
cool. That
I
is
used to
super
know
cool.
back in school.
Well, I knew when Gregory and Gail Hogue came on and told us. I knew that day. And then, of course, I had to make room for other information. So it went out.
Let's see. Golden ratio is, oh, yeah, 161. 1.61 or just 0.61.
Does it go to infinity, though? Like pi or not? Is it just 1.61?
Well, it's actually, it's what's the Fibonacci is based on. So, yeah, you could essentially go on and on and on and on, because
Oh,
it's
tell
each.
them about the sequence. It's one add itself. So one add one is two.
Mm-hmm. And then one
And
plus,
then,
it's whatever the last two numbers are, you add them
okay.
together to get the next number. So
And two and one is
1,
three.
2, 3, 5,
Two is five.
3,
Five and three is eight.
8,
8 and five is
13.
13.
Yeah, exactly.
That's where I stop. That's where my numbers go, up to 13, but it goes to infinity.
Let's see the Fibonacci sequence. Yeah, 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, 21, 34. And you'll notice Lone Eagle, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8.
He's got it.
He's got it in his name. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the first time I think I saw it written out was in his name.
Oh, really? I've never seen it written out. I've only heard him say it. Like, this is Lone Eagle,
Oh,
1, 1,
yeah,
2,
I
5,
saw
3,
it. I
5,
saw
or
him
whatever.
write
And I'm
it
like,
out.
what's that code he always says? I'm like, wait, that's the Fibonacci.
It's the Fibonacci sequence.
Okay.
Okay, so next step, us, unified selves. I just came up with another name because I'll never remember. Unified.
Support.
What is it? Unified support.
Right. So we're trying to support those who are awakening
And support each other.
and support each other. Right.
We're
Be the
trying to lead
strength
from
and
the front into love, unity. And I don't want to just say light because darkness is important. If the earth just had sunshine, we would shrivel up and all die. We need nighttime. We need the dark. We need the quiet. It's the feminine energy. It's the darkness of the womb.
right. I
We
think of
need
the
the
light
sun.
as the information, I guess, though, rather
Yeah,
than, you know,
we
darkness
need
is
the light.
ignorance,
We need the
lightness
sun.
is not in the
But we
sense
also,
of not in the sense of light and dark like heads and tails or whatever.
yeah. Because I really, really like the nighttime and I really like the moon. I like the coolness of the moon. I
Me
like the
too.
femininity of it, you know?
Absolutely. And I love the stars and stargazing. So
Yeah.
I think of the love and the light as being the two halves, right? So you've got the love or the right brain, and you've got the intellect or the light, the knowledge. So I think of them as two halves of the whole, right? Rather than
Gotcha.
it's like light versus dark or
Because I like the
love versus
darkness
hate.
too. I'm trying to not avoid it, but I'm
Hmm.
seeing it as positive darkness. I'm not talking about negative darkness,
Right, right.
the connotation of doing dark things. No, I'm not talking about that at all. I'm just talking about, the darkness of a
Like the
cave,
yin
the
yang.
darkness,
Yeah.
yeah, of a night sky, especially with snow, new fallen snow on like, with the moon out in the darkness. That's a wonderful feeling. That I love that.
Hmm. And that's where the comparison with the darkness of the womb, the creation of the space for creating. You have to have the space to create, right? So
Yes.
you
And the
can't,
darkness of the void of which all creation came out of
right?
was not empty. It was full of potential. It was full of possibility.
Yeah.
And that's where our manifestation comes from. It doesn't come necessarily in the light, it comes from the darkness of meditating, going deep, 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 deep within yourself into that void where all things are possible, where
Right.
all potential lies, and then bringing it out when you're awake and aware and speaking so that
Hmm.
darkness has a really important role, and I
Right.
want to
Definitely.
celebrate it and not go, oh, darkness is bad you
Yeah.
know so okie dokie, I will put this on,
It's one,
take
two,
off
three
the
in
video. Oh,
Colorado.
cool. We always got good numbers. Okay, I gotta remember where that is and not shut the whole thing down. Right, here we go. And I'm just gonna go silent for a moment and have a sip of water.
Alrighty.
Okay, I just cleared my throat. Oh, this is fun. We do it so not often now, right? We didn't get to it last time, so I really, really missed it. But here we go. We got it once a month, which is awesome. So many of us together right now, spiritually holding hands and increasing our power a millionfold, um, by coming together and doing this together with love and open hearts. So let's just do the Shane sigh and take a deep, relaxing breath in. Really fill up your lungs and just sigh as you exhale. Just let it out. Make a sound with your voice too, if you like. Take another deep, relaxing breath in. Hold this one for just a few moments and exhale completely. Let the sigh go if you wish. And take a third deep, relaxing breath in. Breathe it in all the way to your toes. Fill up those lungs to capacity. Let your tummy extend. And now just let it all out. And as you let it out, with or without a sigh, relax all the muscles in your body from the neck all the way down to your fingers and your toes. So you're really enjoying that oxygen and that relaxation. Don't do this if you need attention and you're driving or walking or anything like that. Make sure you're in a safe place to fully let go and really relax into your body and into your mind and into your heart space. So now we're going to do what we always do. We're going to breathe in through the heart and gently exhale through the heart. This is the Heart Maths Institute mechanism or practice so that you entrain your heart and your mind together. The electromagnetism starts to work as one. Breathe in through your heart gently and exhale through your heart center. And now this is entraining all of us together into one. We're going to breathe in through our heart a beautiful, soft or bright color. And we're going to exhale that same color out of our heart. Do it at a relaxing pace that's comfortable for you. Breathe in through your heart. And this time, let that color fill your body up from your toes to your nose. Let it spread everywhere and exhale that color out. And as you continue doing this, you are actually healing and energizing a particular chakra or energy center in your body that needs a little extra energy, love, and light. Continue to do this and you will actually increase your vitality. And that color can change every time you do this simple meditation. So you can concentrate on all your energy centers by giving each color a chance on a different day. Or do the rainbow. Breathe in the rainbow. Fill your body up completely with that rainbow light. Exhale the rainbow back out of your heart center. And now, as you continue to do this gently, you're going to fill the room that you're in with the color of the light that you have been bringing in through your heart. And just let it softly fill all the corners of the room you're in. And suddenly it just spreads to the entire building that you're in. And from there, you can let it go to the entire complex or town. And from there, that beautiful color can spread all over the region that you're in, the state, the county. Let it spread across your country, your entire country. And now let that color that you are working with today spread across the entire earth. Let everybody benefit from the color, the healing nature of the color that you're working with today. And now we're going to imagine the earth shrinking down, smaller and smaller and smaller. See it out in front of you and let yourself be in the void, that comfortable, dark place, the place of all potential and all possibility. And when the earth is the size of either a basketball or a softball or a baseball, whatever size you want it to be, imagine seeing earth and everything and everyone on it as one unified, special, loving, living being. And now that you see it and feel it as one, take it in your arms and cradle it, kind of like you would a newborn child or a week-old child, a child that's very delicate, and you just have this warm feeling of so much love. You just want to protect it and hold it and love it. And as you're loving the earth, imagine that every sentient being on earth, the plants, the minerals, the animals, the human beings, and the elementals, the elemental energies, the orbs, the fairies, the gnomes. Imagine all life on earth not just surviving, but thriving, thriving together in kind of a unified, cooperative, compassionate ecosystem of life. Where there is any lack, someone or something fills it immediately. Where there is any want or need, someone or something fills that immediately. So the whole system, the whole planet, all life on earth is symbiotic and cooperative, compassionate and harmonic. See the rainbows everywhere. See the rainbows around earth in your arms, in the air, in the sky, in the clouds, in the water, in the snow, in the rocks, in the minerals, in the trees, in the trunks, in the animals. See the rainbow everywhere. And when anything is needed in one area or the other, it is immediately fulfilled with bounty and abundance and love, sharing what we have at all times with caring love. And let's see humanity on earth now coming together maybe because of things that have been happening recently, or maybe because it's the time. The time is now for unity, for true atonement, which breaks down to at one meant. And seeing the joy in working together for the good of all, seeing the relief and the happiness and the lightness that brings in people when they know that you've got their back and they know that they've got your back. Seeing the joy in the animals who are treated respectfully at all times, regardless of what their role is on earth, whether they're wild and natural or in the food chain, always treated respectfully and with great care. Can you feel the lightness coming through your body, through your heart, and through your mind? When you know that everybody, all humans, are working together for the good of all. See it happening right here, right now. And we're just going to go silent now for 3 minutes as we each imagine and experience the truly unified humanity and the truly unified earth in the truly unified life. So here we are together, us, one, unified support, here to help each other to thrive instead of just surviving. So go ahead and let Earth set it free out of your arms. Let it grow naturally until it's the size of where you are right now on Earth, in your room or your vehicle, wherever you are, if you pulled on the side to do the meditation. And go ahead and accept that love back from Earth, because Earth is highly energetic and is saying, thank you right now. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, I love you. Thank you, I love you. Accept that love right back from Earth, because it's a mutual agreement that you're here right now. And when you're ready, go ahead and open your eyes, maybe stretch a little, stretch your neck, your shoulders, whatever got a little stiff, and open your eyes. Back.
Very nice.
Very relaxed.
I tell you what, when I had I even put my hands like this and was like cradling the earth, and I felt so much love. I had like 3 heart palpitations, like while I was doing that. Right? I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to. But it reminded me that just the other day I was talking to my kids. They're all having heart palpitations right now. I think it's the
I've heard
energy.
that.
So
I've
I've
heard that
been.
from a lady that she's having them, and I'm like, oh, okay.
So this stuff here, if you just, I find this helps out magnesium.
Magnesium.
And it's
Yeah,
for like bone and muscle health. But it helps
really
me. I'm
important.
not like giving any advice. I'm just saying what I use that helps.
Yeah,
It,
absolutely. Share what you know,
but
right?
years ago, I was being prescribed, I think it was called Cardia or something like that. And then I didn't have insurance. It was like a script I got from the emergency room when I had gotten dehydrated and I had these heart palpitations. And the machine was like thinking it was not connected right. That's how many heart palpitations I was having. So they put me
Whoa.
on Cardia, and a friend told me, like, have you ever just tried magnesium instead of those pills? And when I switched to magnesium, it did the trick. So
Whoa.
yeah,
It's interesting you said dehydration as well, too. We definitely need more water.
yeah,
Definitely need clean water. Drink
yeah,
clean water as much as possible.
absolutely.
I take 500 milligrams a night probably of magnesium. It helps me to sleep. It's good for my heart.
What is this stuff? 400? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those are
You take
big
it every
too.
night too, because it does make you sleepy. So it is one of those things to help you get to sleep. Do you take it at night or do you take it during the day?
I take it whenever I get heart palpitations, and I remember,
Oh,
like, oh, I
okay.
forgot to take one. So I'm glad you said that. I had no idea it makes you sleepy. So now I'm like,
It makes you sleepy. So I take it with 1 milligram of melatonin, like at 10 p.m., hoping I'll be asleep by 11 or 12. Hoping.
me, I just go when I'm called. Just like my waking time. It's the same thing. The bed calls me. I'm like, it's time.
It's time. Well, that was really enjoyable. I think one of our first meditations years ago, we did the earth loving, earth cradling, loving the earth as a being. And I just love that one. It's like I feel so, I don't know, it just feels really good to get that love back from the earth.
Oh yeah, I was totally covered with chills when you said that. I was like, wow.
Totally, totally.
I really
It
saw
just felt
the
so good.
that continuous. You're feeding into it, but you're in it, so you're feeling it and feeding it back, and it's like this
Yeah,
endless
you're
loop.
sending your love in and it's coming right back up your feet and going right back into your body. I think it does that through the Schumann resonance too, because if you go away from the Schumann, people get really, really sick.
Yeah,
So I think the Schumann resonance is an energetic form of the earth's love, keeping us healthy, loving us. And
absolutely.
if you think about it, we're never ever separated from the earth, unless, of course, you're flying in a plane. But, even right now, I'm on the 3rd floor, but the building is attached to the earth and I'm attached to the building. It's like I'm always operating attached to the earth. It's like the earth like sprung up these hairs called humans who have brains and consciousness,
Right,
right? So we are like the earth doing what whatever we're doing it as a member of the earth.
right. And the Schumann resonance is actually in the cavity between the Earth and the ionosphere. So you're totally in it. Even in a plane, you're still in it, you know?
I'm in it now on the 3rd floor.
Yeah,
Still in it in the Schumann resonance,
yeah.
which is doing some crazy things. And maybe that has to do with heart palpitations too. So I think knowing about magnesium and water, not dehydrating, is really important.
Right.
Somebody also said potassium.
Yep,
Drinking
potassium is good
coconut
too.
water is really important to get rid of those.
Hmm. But
So,
I didn't know the magnesium helps with cramps. I knew that potassium helped with cramps, but it
oh, it
actually,
helps with cramps big
yeah,
time.
both
It
of
gets
them.
rid of leg cramps. You know, when people like have their muscles seize up, magnesium gets rid of that.
Right.
I know because my husband, he was on dialysis and that caused an imbalance, which caused leg cramps. And we got rid of it with magnesium.
Mm. Yeah, I used to wake up with Charlie horses really bad. But lately,
Ah,
just the other day, I had a sore spot on my leg, and I was like, oh my gosh, I got a Charlie horse and never woke up. I could tell, you know, it was really painful, but I guess I was like, you know,
wow, slept right through it.
slept right through it. Yeah. So I was in that
So
part of the
if you
sleep
take your
cycle.
magnesium every night, you probably won't have those Charlie horses
No,
anymore either. It does so much.
I'm horrible about taking stuff repeatedly. I need the reminder. I need my heart to flutter, and I'm like, oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, take the magnesium.
I wish I could remember, but I guess I could set an alarm. But that's how I do with even the, you know, I told you I do the conscious breaths and stuff. I just use anytime you get triggered or anything or anything. I mean, I use everything as a notification. Oh, good time to take a conscious breath, you know?
Yeah, time to
And there's
sigh.
plenty of triggers out there, so.
Yeah, I know. It's like easier to stay home and try to stay away from the triggers because puppy dogs do not trigger you, do they? She knows it's time to end the show because she's trying to climb up on my lap now. She's like, it's time.
Well,
She
thank you
has this
guys so
internal,
much for
yeah.
joining us today. We got Feisty Kitty and Alva and
Feisty, Christina, hello.
Ravney,
Hey
Sherry.
guys.
Who else do we
Uh,
have? We had April she did show up in Morgan in let's see,
hey
333.
Morgan. Hey everybody.
Got your
I'll go
hat on,
back.
333. Jody.
Hey Jody.
Who else? Oh
Hello
yeah,
to
Laura Lee's
everybody.
here. Yeah.
I will go back and read your comments. I will always read the
Yvonne,
comments. I won't miss them.
Kathy. Thank you guys so much for showing
Thank
up.
you guys so much.
And anybody else I missed. Miranda.
Brenda, as in Brenda Mitchell or
Miranda Anderson.
Miranda?
Oh, it sounded like I said Brenda? Yeah. Sorry.
Oh, it's just my headphones.
Shifting Consciousness. That is Nancy. What's up, Nancy and Jody?
Nancy.
Anyway, I hope I didn't miss anybody. I love you guys. I usually don't do shout outs because I'm always afraid I'm going to miss somebody, you know? But
Yeah, if you're missed, you're not missed.
and all of you that
Intuitively,
are
psychically,
just
we're giving
listening,
you a hug.
the listeners, you guys, the ones that haven't chatted in, we love you guys too. So
We love y'all.
lots of
Thanks so
love,
much for
light, and
being here.
unity. And thank you so much for being here again, Eileen. It's
Oh,
such a help that you can just fly off and do those meditations and they'll be so
I love it.
powerful, you
It
know?
means so much to me. I'm so glad we get together once a month and unite and meditate together. It's very powerful. I love it.
And as we see, it works.
It works.
It works.
Be careful what you ask for. You're going to get it.
That's right. Well, we love you guys. Lots of love, light, and unity. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Bye.
If you'd like to support the work I do, go to paypal.me/UOTF. Thanks.